Hey guys, KenzeRestricted coming at you. It is May the 12th. Most of you are probably in Vegas. Wish I was there with you guys. But I'm here in Dallas, and that's where I'm supposed to be, so be it. I wanted to come on and talk really quickly about PBing. I have looked everywhere on the internet for, what is the term of PBing? And everywhere it says, the bariatric term for, productive burp, blah, 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 blah. Okay, for those of you who don't know what PBing is the letters stand for productive burping. It's called productive burping because you are not vomiting. I have said in the past, I vomit. Well, that's not true. Vomiting comes from the stomach. This food has not entered my stomach. Had it entered my stomach, it wouldn't be coming up in the first place. PBing is the productive burping of undigested food and or saliva or liquid or whatever you've put in your mouth that's not going down, it's coming back up. The motion that happens with PBing for most people, it's not always the case for me, but for most people, is not a heaving, vomiting like you do when you're sick. It's sort of the same, how can I say, like as if you were to burp, but food comes out. Now, when I thought of PBing in the past, and the name for it, I thought, I'm sitting here having a normal time, talking, chatting, everything's great, and I burp and food comes up. Not the case. When you're going to PB, you know you are going to PB. You cannot swallow your spit. You don't want to swallow your spit. You don't want to talk. You don't want to breathe. It's very painful. And for those of you who have never PB and you have the lap band, oh my God, you are so lucky. Because it's very uncomfortable, especially if you are PBing, or you are pre-PBing in public. It's very frightening because I've been into the grocery store. I had a snack in my purse. I had some grapes, and I was eating the grapes, and I was clear across the store, and we're talking like Walmart, Supercenter. So, I'm like a football field away from the bathroom. And so, where am I going to PB? I've got to get to the bathroom. And I'm telling you what, you go into like honing stage because you can't swallow your spit, so your mouth is full of saliva. Sorry, that's kind of all really graphic. But that's PBing. That is the true life of what a lap band patient goes through. I definitely think that it's named appropriately. I used to think that was kind of a stupid thing to call it, and it was just more of like a polite thing to say rather than I threw up. But technically, it would be correct because you're not vomiting. Vomiting comes from the stomach. Vomiting is the, the expulsion, excursion, no. I can never think of words. Basically, vomiting is the loss of digested food, or partly digested food. From the stomach acid, or in stomach acid. PBing is food that's masticated, the beginnings of, if you want to get real scientific, the beginnings of digestion have begun, but we're not talking about like intestinal digestion. We're talking saliva, the breaking down of what, carbs, I think, and if I'm wrong, then somebody will correct me, and thank you. So, I think it is named correctly. And so now, when I say PBing, I will be more educated that that is actually what I'm doing. Even if I am sort of heaving, it's not coming from my stomach, it's coming from my esophagus, therefore I'm not vomiting. So, very interesting. Now, it can be violent. I will tell you that sometimes it is very violent, like throwing up, but it's not coming from my stomach, so it's not vomiting. So, for all of you that didn't know what PBing was, now you do. For those of you who knew what it was, you know what I'm talking about. So, to all my WLS brothers and sisters, I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.